There's no question in my mind, and I'm only one individual, but there's no question that scouting impacts boys' lives more than any other single thing that happens to youth.
As a young man, scouting had an important part of my life. I mean, I remember starting out as a Cub Scout and how proud I was to be able to wear that uniform and also to be able to earn, you know, your awards.
To me, it was introducing me to adventure, because I was always doing the routine things that you normally do, but I was really stretched, perhaps, to go do things that I normally wouldn't do. And so the role that it really played for me was broadening knowledge and horizons for me.
You could go camping with parents or friends, but on the scout activities, when you had a little bit more structure but still allowed to have fun, it was just those associations that were the good things about scouting.
The important thing to me was having that place of belonging, and that's probably what I remember the most, is always having something to do. I didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up, and so just having that place to go, the campouts, the fishing trips, the merit badges. I just made such great friends with some of the scouts, some of the scout leaders. It was just a really good experience for me that way.
Really a lot to do with my leaders, more than me. I mean, I did the stuff, and I really, especially in the early days of scouting, I really enjoyed getting all the merit badges and things like that. But they had to twist my arm at the end.
That's the difference between scouting having a meaningful role in a young man's life and scouting not having a meaningful role. We knew him, he knew us. We were engaged and involved with him and with the purposes of scouting, and that's the whole difference.
I would say that perhaps the greatest blessing of being in Scouts for me was my Scoutmaster. I mean, he took every one of us became Eagle Scouts, everybody that was my age, my group, and he did that personally and individually.
I've had several scout leaders, and they were all great, but some of them had different qualities that others didn't, that I can appreciate and look back on and say that was a really good Scoutmaster.
There are some Scoutmasters that really understand what it is to develop relationships. And once those relationships are developed and trust is there, then some of the awards and achievements just become a little bit automatic, if you will.
It wasn't an easy path for us. That we got out, we learned skills, and so I'm very grateful for leaders that I've had.
I'll see a little van drive up, out jumps all these little scouts, you know, with their little uniforms on, and the scout, he unloads his van, it's all messed up and everything, and the Scoutmaster gets in, he's going in to buy him a treat or something like that. I put my hand over my heart and I stand at attention, because those Scoutmasters, in my mind, are the creme de creme.
You know, there's a reason that the mother gets a pin when the boy gets an Eagle Scout and gets his Eagle Scout, but all 5 of my boys were Eagle Scouts.
I pull my wallet out and I'll say, you know, this is something that's really important to me, and I'll pull out this little thing right here, and right here I'll go through and I'll look at this and I'll say, look at that. There's Dale Larkin, Eagle Scout. I prize that. I keep it in my wallet. It doesn't make me proud of myself, but it makes me grateful that I made the effort to become an Eagle Scout. It's wonderful to say that I'm an Eagle Scout. It
means a lot to me to be an Eagle now. I mean, oftentimes, you know, people will talk about an Eagle Scout and the accomplishments, and I'm grateful that I stuck with it.
You know, it's nice as you gather in places where you can share that experience. It's nice that an element of, I guess, hopefully appropriate pride in something well done, and having had the motivation as a youth when others didn't to accomplish a worthwhile goal.
Every time I go to a court of honor or anything, I actually kind of feel great about getting up in that eagle's nest and sitting with all these other eagles, and I look around me and I think, wow, I'm part of this group.
It's an aspect of a young man's life that can't be neglected. In a scout troop, everybody's equal. Everybody has the same opportunities to grow and participate and serve.
The overall scouting experience was something that built a lot of confidence, but there was a leadership element in scouting that I don't know that I could have gotten anywhere else either as a youth.
The skills that it taught me that I use on a daily basis, the leadership abilities and things like that, are something that all kids could really benefit from.
I don't suppose it helped me to learn to tie knots when I'd need them, or learn how to camp out when I needed it, and things like that come only if you chose to do them. I suspect the best thing was that it taught me responsibility.
It'd be great if every kid could be involved in scouting. The principles of scouting are just inherently inconsistent with breaking the law, and if you can get them entrenched in scouting, the chances increase that they won't get involved in other things.
When we're looking at an opportunity for other people to join the company I work for, we look for people who have the ability to finish a project, who have drive, who have determination. And scouting, because of my experience in scouting, I know that if someone who has those characteristics, I know what I'm going to get.
If they were Eagle Scouts, you knew at least they had stick-to-itiveness. You just don't show up and become an Eagle Scout. You've got to have some drive.
Especially in other places, and certainly even in Utah, it carries a practical, real-world effect that people treat you with an element of expectation and sense of independence, you might say.
So we don't really understand when we're 12 years old, certainly not at 8, what the bottom line is, what's going to happen because of this experience.
It's not just about surviving in the wilderness. It's surviving in the world.
I mean, every day the world is changing and we're getting more technology and we're getting further away from the skills that we really need as a civilization.
Scouting just gives a much broader and more positive opportunity for them to see who they really are and what they can become.
It's not about the award. It's about the values. It's about the ability to accomplish things. And if you involve yourself in scouting, and when the things get hard or when things seem difficult, if they'll stick with it and learn that characteristic of I can do this and not give up, then in the process, yeah, they'll earn an Eagle Scout Award or they'll earn merit badges, but at the same time they'll build a foundation that'll serve them throughout the rest of their life.
If you get the boys committed and engaged and own their decisions and own the activities and own the things that you're about, they'll learn those lessons and they'll take them into their adult lives as they grow up through the ranks.